G'day and welcome to the vlog. It's raining outside, so you may hear the pitter-patter of tiny drops on the garden outside. Just want to wrap up a couple of things today. Firstly, obviously, as I've mentioned, we're in the midst of the Com Games at my day job, so that's heating up quite a bit, and we've got a real bottleneck of work at the moment. So I've been down at the Gold Coast Convention Centre on Saturday. I've been at the Brisbane Convention Centre the last 2 days. I'm back down building the interior lighting and power feeds on a tent at Broadbeach tomorrow, a 40-metre tent, and that's going to be the next couple of days for us. So it's pretty crazy bottleneck at the moment, but it's a lot of fun. Last couple of days, last week really, I've been running some Facebook ads for Stratford Teas, and I thought I'd share the results of those ads, and I probably should have had that open. So what I'll do in the meantime, while I'm secretly opening that in the background, is just talk about this real quick. So I've mentioned I Love Marketing, the podcast I Love Marketing. The two guys that run that, Dean Jackson and Joe Polish, are genius marketers, really. I think they're amazing. Taking a lot from them, and or Dean Jackson particularly, has this thing called the Breakthrough DNA. This is a bit of a blueprint on structuring a marketing strategy for any business. The concept of it, they have applied it to hundreds of businesses. They coach people all year round on marketing, and they've applied this. So I'm taking that as my blueprint to start doing a bigger marketing strategy for Small Crown Productions across into Stratford Teas, and looking at it from that point of view. So it's got 8 specific things that they believe that are the stages of a really great marketing strategy, not just a campaign, but an actual strategy. Everything from before you engage the customer right through till after someone's purchased with you, on that whole after sales service and lifetime value of a customer type thing. So really, really great, really encourage you. I've actually turned those 8 profit activators now into a worksheet that I'm actually using as a template to really think deeply and note specifically what I'm going to do and what I believe the information for my business is in those 8 profit activators. So that's been a really interesting process when you really have to start stopping and thinking. And I think what's really great about it is it's giving me a very specific framework to work with. It's giving me some specific things to think about, rather than trying to build my own template or come up with my own sort of version of that. It's a really easy laid out process, and I've been able to build a template from that I'm going to be able to use. So in the midst of that, so obviously the concept of creating a video ad for Stratford Teas is part of that marketing strategy, so that's being built into that. But having to sit and think about, what is the value to somebody else, like actually putting yourself in the customer's mindset and thinking about, well, what does it mean to them to buy, whether it's the t-shirt for Stratford Teas or production services that I can offer, whatever it is. So really interesting. So working on that as a bit of a priority, so that I can build that as quickly as I can. So mental blank. The other thing that I've had to do in the last couple of days is rebuild my self-tape studio, with the heavy rain that we've had in Brisbane over the last couple of weeks. My self-tape studio set up out in my carport, and one side of my carport doesn't have any kind of coverage, so the rain had blown in and snapped some support stuff that I had there, so I had to basically pull it down and rebuild it, which was fine because I'd recently purchased a new blue backdrop, blue fabric curtain backdrop, blue screen thing. So that's all been rebuilt there, and I think you can probably see a little bit of footage of me tinkering away and mounting some new support beams and doing that. So that was a good few hours on a weekend. So the other thing I really wanted to touch on was these Facebook ads. So basically, I started one Facebook ad which was just a general campaign for the Facebook page, driving conversions, and that was left open as a targeting, so I left it just USA. So I'm starting to target in the USA because the shipping over there is far less, because the shirts are printed and shipped in the US, so the shipping to US locations is much cheaper. So I'm looking at that obviously as a mass market as well. There's so many more people over there that I can tap into as a market across the entire United States. So left that as an open kind of targeting, just men and women, 1865, left the whole thing open. The only real target on there was the US. So let that run for 5 days, just on a $5 a day budget. And from that, just looking at the analytics of that afterwards, just in the Facebook advertising breakdown, so it gives you a whole bunch of stats that you can look into. It showed a particular skew towards women looking at the ad and following through, clicking through on the ad, particularly in the 25 to 44 age group. So after that 5 days, I took that information and I duplicated the ad, created a whole new ad set and used the same ad. But that second ad set I targeted specifically to women only in the 18 to 44 age bracket. No other specific targeting in regards to that. So it was really just that age group targeting to take what the original ad had shown as a particular skewing in who was responding to the ad, and focusing a second ad, second ad set in on that specific market. So those, just the women in that age range. I did tweak the ad very slightly, just a little bit of a change to the copy, just to see if that helped drive engagement a little bit as well. So the interesting thing is, in 10 days, without the targeting, it generated 60 likes to the Facebook page. So 60 likes, 10 days, 1,400 people reached at a click-through rate of 83 cents a click. That's a pretty good price. Second ad, which was more targeted, was only 7 days long, and it generated 59 likes in 7 days. So a much better return there, and the click-through rate was cheaper at 56 cents. That second ad that was more targeted only reached 1,150 people, so it was about 300 people less that it reached in that time, and had a cheap click-through rate. So that means that obviously that ad was more relevant to those people as well. So interesting stats. Thought I'd share those. Thanks very much. See ya.